Welcome to Lotus Light Teachings, where timeless wisdom meets everyday life. Today, we're diving into a powerful topic that could change how you view the gifts you accept and the energy they bring into your life. Stay with us as we uncover hidden insights, share meaningful stories, and explore ways to cultivate harmony and abundance. Let's begin this mindful journey together. Have you ever received a gift that seemed to carry more than just its physical form? Perhaps it was a beautifully crafted clock that left you feeling oddly restless, or a set of knives that, despite their utility, seemed to cut deeper into your relationships. Why do certain gifts, given with good intentions, leave behind a trail of unease or discord? In Buddhist philosophy, everything in the universe is interconnected. Objects, even those as seemingly harmless as a purse or a mirror, carry energy that can affect our lives in profound ways. What if the very things you accepted out of politeness or gratitude were silently shaping your reality? Could a gift be blocking your wealth, health, or happiness? Today, let's embark on a journey of discovery together. We'll explore not just the gifts you should be cautious of accepting, but also the timeless wisdom behind these teachings. Imagine sitting with an old friend by a warm hearth, sharing stories that unravel the mysteries of our lives. That's the kind of conversation I want to have with you today. Let's delve deep into the energy we surround ourselves with and uncover the tools to invite more abundance, peace, and harmony into our lives. Sharp objects, division and discord. Imagine this: a crisp morning bathed in soft sunlight, the kind that filters gently through curtains and dances across a cozy kitchen. A young couple, freshly moved into their dream home, stands by their kitchen counter, admiring their new space. Among the housewarming gifts is a gleaming set of knives, a practical and thoughtful gift from a close friend. They unwrap the package together, marveling at the craftsmanship of the blades. But beneath the surface of this seemingly innocent moment lies a ripple in the harmony of their lives. Over the next few weeks, small arguments begin to emerge. At first, they're about trivial things, forgotten chores, mismatched schedules. But these disagreements grow sharper, cutting deeper into the trust they once shared. Both begin to feel a subtle sense of unease, as though something intangible is unsettling their relationship. Could it all be a coincidence? Or might it be the energy embedded in that housewarming gift, the knives symbolizing division? Sharp objects like knives and scissors hold an unmistakable duality. On one hand, they are tools of creation, allowing us to shape, prepare, and build. On the other, they are inherently symbols of separation. They divide, sever, and fragment, both literally and symbolically. Across cultures, sharp objects are often seen as carrying a certain weight of energy, an energy that can disrupt connections between people when gifted. In Buddhist teachings, every interaction, object, and relationship exists within the vast web of interconnectedness. A knife, gifted with love but wielding the energy of severance, has the potential to disrupt this web. While the giver's intentions may be pure, the act of giving a sharp object can unintentionally cut the bond between giver and receiver. This is why, even in modern traditions, people exchange coins when gifting knives, transforming the act into a symbolic purchase rather than a true gift, thereby neutralizing its divisive energy. To understand this on a deeper level, let's revisit our couple. Their story could be anyone's, a tale of unspoken energy infiltrating the mundane. Perhaps the knives introduced a subtle tension, like the sharp note in a symphony that throws the entire orchestra slightly off balance. The couple may not even realize that their quarrels, which seem rooted in practical concerns, could be magnified by the symbolic weight of those blades. And as time passes, these small disruptions grow, much like a tiny crack in a wall that eventually threatens the entire structure. This story isn't just about knives, though. It's about the unseen energies that objects carry into our lives and how they shape our interactions and emotions. Think back to a time when you received a gift that felt slightly off. Something about it didn't quite resonate. Perhaps it was a pair of scissors given as part of a craft kit, or a pocket knife from a well-meaning relative. Did you notice any subtle shifts in your relationships afterward? The changes may have been so slight they were almost imperceptible, like a whisper lost in the wind. But the energy of division may have begun to weave itself quietly into your interactions. There's a story from an old village where gifting knives was once considered a mark of discord. It's said that a blacksmith gifted his apprentice a knife as a token of his pride and mentorship. Yet shortly after, their bond began to fray. The apprentice, once eager to learn, grew distant, feeling burdened by unspoken expectations. The blacksmith, hurt by his apprentice's withdrawal, blamed himself. Only later did the villagers realize the knife, a symbol of severance, had inadvertently amplified their misunderstandings. A small coin offered in exchange might have softened the symbolic edge of the gift, preserving their connection. In our modern world, these traditions may seem quaint, even superstitious, but beneath them lies a profound truth. Objects are never merely objects. They carry intentions, history, and energy. When we receive them, we invite their energy into our lives. And while we might dismiss the symbolism of a knife as purely metaphorical, our subconscious minds often engage with these meanings on a level beyond our conscious awareness. So how can we navigate this understanding in a way that brings harmony to our lives? First, we can practice mindfulness. The next time you're offered a sharp object as a gift, pause. Reflect on the energy it might carry and how you can consciously neutralize it. Offering a coin in return is a simple yet powerful ritual, transforming the act into a transaction that redefines the object's purpose. But beyond these gestures, we can also cultivate an awareness of the gifts we give to others. What energy do our offerings carry? When we gift something, we are not just offering an item. We are sharing a piece of ourselves, our intentions, and our hopes for the recipient. By choosing gifts that symbolize unity, abundance, or joy, we contribute to the interconnected web of harmony that binds us all. Returning to the young couple, let's imagine an alternative ending. Suppose they had exchanged a coin when receiving the knives, honoring the ritual of neutralizing their symbolic edge. Perhaps they might have avoided the subtle tensions that crept into their relationship. Or maybe the act of mindful giving and receiving would have sparked a deeper understanding of each other's feelings and intentions, strengthening their bond. At its core, the lesson here is not about fear or superstition, but about mindfulness and respect for the unseen forces at play in our lives. In recognizing the symbolic power of sharp objects, we gain the opportunity to approach life with greater awareness. We learn to honor the connections we share with others and to protect the harmony of our relationships with simple yet profound gestures. As you sit with this reflection, consider your own life. Are there symbolic knives, gifts, objects, or even habits that might be quietly disrupting your sense of peace? What steps can you take to bring more mindfulness and balance into your relationships and environment? These questions, like gentle ripples in still water, invite us to look deeper, to connect with the energy around us, and to make choices that nurture the harmony we seek. And as we part ways in this moment of shared reflection, let us carry with us the wisdom of mindfulness, the courage to honor our connections, and the clarity to discern the energy of the gifts we receive and give. Empty wallets or purses, the symbol of lack. Imagine standing at the crossroads of generosity and intention, where every gesture carries a weight far beyond its visible form. The air feels light as a friend hands you a beautifully wrapped gift. Your fingers gently untie the ribbon, revealing a sleek leather wallet, its craftsmanship a testament to the giver's thoughtfulness. A smile lights up your face as you thank them, unaware of the silent message nestled within. The wallet, though stunning, is empty, and in its emptiness lies an invitation, not of abundance, but of scarcity. A wallet is no ordinary object. It is a vessel, a container for our financial energies, holding not just money but the symbols of our prosperity and the flow of opportunities in our lives. When gifted empty, it creates a void, a whisper in the universe that suggests lack rather than fulfillment. Though the gesture may be filled with kindness, the energy it carries can leave a subtle imprint, shaping the unseen currents of our lives. Let me share the story of Ethan, a young entrepreneur brimming with ambition and dreams of success. Ethan had always been diligent, pouring his energy into building a business that reflected his values of creativity and connection. On his birthday, a close friend gifted him a beautifully crafted wallet, It was elegant, polished, and everything Ethan admired in design. Yet, as he opened it, he noticed its emptiness, a small detail he brushed aside as inconsequential. Over the following months, Ethan began facing unexpected challenges. Projects he had been confident about suddenly fell through, clients withdrew without explanation, and financial difficulties crept in like an uninvited shadow. Ethan, ever the rational thinker, attributed these hurdles to market fluctuations and timing. But deep down, he couldn't shake a feeling, a lingering unease that seemed tied to that empty wallet sitting unused in his drawer. One day, over tea with an elder who practiced mindfulness and Buddhist teachings, Ethan shared his frustrations. The elder listened with quiet attention, then gently said, "A wallet is more than leather and stitching. It holds not just your wealth but your energy. An empty wallet speaks to the universe of absence. When you received it, did you bless it with abundance or leave its emptiness untouched?" The words struck a chord. Ethan realized that in accepting the wallet without a token of prosperity, a coin, a small bill, he had unconsciously reinforced an energy of scarcity. Inspired, he returned home, placed a crisp bill inside the wallet, and whispered words of gratitude and intention. It was a simple act, but it marked the beginning of a shift. Gradually, Ethan found his energy recalibrating. New opportunities appeared, his confidence returned, and his business began to thrive once more. Ethan's story is a reminder that the objects we keep and the energy they hold are not separate from our lives. A wallet, though seemingly mundane, is a symbol of flow of money, opportunities, and the energy we project into the world. When given empty, it can subtly suggest lack, inviting that energy to linger. But when imbued with even the smallest token of abundance, it transforms into a beacon of prosperity, aligning our intentions with the universal rhythm of giving and receiving. This principle extends beyond wallets. Consider the spaces and objects around you. Are there items that silently reflect emptiness or lack? An unused jar, an empty vase, a box with nothing inside. Each carries a story, a vibration. By filling them with intention, a flower in the vase, a token in the jar, we shift their energy, transforming them into vessels of possibility and joy. I recall another story, this one from an old market village where traditions ran deep. A young woman named May had saved for months to buy her father a special gift for the new year, a finely crafted wallet from the village's most skilled artisan. She had heard the teachings of her elders: never gift a wallet empty, for it is akin to offering an empty well. So May carefully placed a small coin inside before wrapping it with care. When her father received the wallet, he smiled warmly. "This coin," he said, holding it up, "is not just money. It is a promise, a seed of abundance you've planted for me." True to the symbolism, the father experienced a year of unexpected blessings, a bountiful harvest, harmony in the family, and renewed health. May's thoughtful gesture had not only honored tradition but also reinforced the energy of abundance for her father. In Buddhist teachings, intention is everything. The energy with which we give or receive shapes the impact of every interaction. A wallet, empty or full, becomes a metaphor for the state of our inner and outer lives. It reminds us to approach the act of giving with mindfulness, ensuring that our gestures align with the values we wish to share. As you listen to this story, perhaps you are reminded of gifts you've received or given. Was there an empty wallet, a symbolic emptiness you hadn't noticed before? Or maybe there was a moment when you intuitively filled such a gift with a token, not realizing you were honoring an ancient wisdom. These reflections invite us to pause and consider how we can cultivate abundance, not just in material terms but in the richness of our connections and intentions. When you next find yourself giving a wallet, purse, or similar vessel, think of it as more than a gift. It is a message, a bridge between your energy and the recipient's future. Slip a coin or bill inside, no matter how small, and imbue it with your best wishes for prosperity and happiness. This simple act can ripple far beyond its surface, creating harmony in ways you may never fully see but can always sense. And for the gifts you receive, be mindful of their symbolism. If ever you're handed an empty wallet, know that you hold the power to fill it, not just with money but with intention. Place a coin inside as a declaration to the universe. I welcome abundance. In doing so, you honor the flow of energy and align yourself with the boundless potential of life. As we close this chapter of reflection, let's sit for a moment in the quiet wisdom of these teachings. Imagine the objects in your life as living stories, each carrying an energy that speaks to your journey. What stories will you choose to keep, and how will you shape the ones yet to come? Let these questions guide you, not just in the giving and receiving of gifts, but in the broader dance of intention and action that defines our lives. Used clothing, carrying the past. Picture a quiet Sunday morning, the kind that invites you to wander aimlessly. The streets hum softly with life, and the air carries the earthy aroma of rain-soaked leaves. You find yourself stepping into a quaint thrift store, the door creaking gently as you enter. The shop feels like a treasure chest, filled with stories waiting to be uncovered. Racks of clothing sway slightly, each piece a thread connecting you to lives once lived. You run your hand over a soft wool coat, its texture warm and inviting. There's something charming about its vintage design, and as you hold it up, you imagine its history, a story you'll likely never know. Without hesitation, you decide to buy it, confident it will add a touch of character to your wardrobe. Yet weeks later, you notice a shift. A strange heaviness seems to hang over your days. Little things go awry, from missed opportunities to a growing sense of unease. It's subtle but undeniable, as though a shadow has settled where light once was. This scenario might feel familiar to some, though perhaps the connection between the coat and the discomfort wasn't immediately clear. In Buddhist teachings, everything carries energy, an invisible imprint left by its history and those who once touched it. Clothing, being intimately connected to its wearer, absorbs not just the physical but also the emotional essence of their lives. Joy, sorrow, triumph, despair, all can become woven into the fabric. When we wear used clothing, we are, in a sense, draping ourselves in the echoes of someone else's journey. Consider the story of Lila, a young woman who had recently started her first job in the city. Eager to save money, she visited a thrift store and found a stunning emerald green dress. It felt like destiny, a perfect fit that seemed to radiate sophistication. But after wearing it to an important meeting, Lila found herself overwhelmed by an inexplicable anxiety. Her confidence faltered, and she struggled to articulate her thoughts. This wasn't like her, she thought. Over the weeks that followed, her usually bright spirit dimmed, replaced by bouts of doubt and emotional turbulence. Lila, puzzled by the change, shared her experience with a friend who was deeply rooted in spiritual practices. Her friend listened thoughtfully and then asked, "Have you considered the energy that dress might carry? What if its previous owner faced challenges that left an imprint on it?" The question lingered in Lila's mind. Determined to restore balance, she performed a simple cleansing ritual. She placed the dress under sunlight, sprinkled it with salt, and visualized it being bathed in pure, healing energy. Soon after, she noticed her clarity returning, as though a fog had lifted. Stories like Lila's remind us of the unseen connections we share with the objects in our lives. Clothing, so close to our bodies, holds a unique place in this dynamic. While a new garment carries the promise of a fresh beginning, used clothing can act as a bridge to the past. Sometimes, that bridge leads to a place of beauty, a loved one's favorite sweater that brings comfort or a scarf imbued with happy memories. Other times, it may carry burdens we never meant to take on. There's an old proverb that says, "Wear another's shoes, and you'll walk their journey." The same can be said of clothing. A jacket worn through a season of hardship may carry traces of resilience but also of struggle. A dress cherished during joyful celebrations may radiate positivity. The key lies in discerning the energy a piece of clothing holds and choosing whether it aligns with your current path. Even science offers insights into this phenomenon. Studies on the psychology of objects reveal that our environment influences our emotions and behavior more profoundly than we often realize. Clothing, with its tactile closeness, becomes an extension of our identity, shaping how we feel and interact with the world. Wearing something imbued with negativity can subtly impact our mindset, just as a cherished piece can uplift us. Mindfulness becomes essential in navigating this terrain. Before accepting or purchasing used clothing, pause. Tune into your intuition. How does the item make you feel? Is there a sense of lightness or unease? If it feels energetically heavy, consider whether it's worth the emotional toll. And if you choose to bring it into your life, take steps to reset its energy. In many traditions, cleansing rituals are simple yet effective. Place the clothing in sunlight, allowing its warmth to dissolve lingering negativity. Wash it with intention, visualizing the water carrying away any unwanted energy. Use natural elements like sage or incense to purify it, infusing the fabric with positivity. These small acts are not about superstition but about creating a conscious connection with the things we welcome into our lives. I recall a story shared by a Buddhist teacher about a family who inherited a chest of clothing from a distant relative. Among the items was an old shawl, worn and frayed at the edges. The mother, drawn to its craftsmanship, decided to mend it and wear it. Yet, over time, she began experiencing vivid dreams filled with sorrow and loss. The family consulted the teacher, who explained that the shawl might carry the unresolved emotions of its previous owner. After a cleansing ceremony, the dreams ceased, and the mother felt at peace wearing it. These experiences are not meant to evoke fear but to cultivate awareness. When we approach life with mindfulness, we create space to honor the energies that surround us. Used clothing, like any object, can enrich our lives when chosen with care and cleansed of unwanted imprints. It can connect us to stories of resilience, joy, and beauty, while also teaching us to release what no longer serves us. As you reflect on this, consider the garments in your own wardrobe. Is there a piece that feels particularly significant or one that seems to carry a weight you can't quite explain? What steps might you take to ensure your clothing aligns with the energy you wish to embody? These questions invite us to engage with our possessions not as mere objects but as companions on our journey. And so, as the quiet of this story settles into your heart, let it remind you of the power of intention. The next time you come across a piece of used clothing, let your choice be guided not just by its style or utility, but by the energy it carries and the story it tells. In doing so, you invite harmony into your life, one thoughtful decision at a time. Religious or spiritual artifacts, misaligned energies. The sound of a gentle breeze rustles through the leaves as you sit quietly in your favorite spot at home. It's a place of comfort, a sanctuary where you often reflect or meditate, feeling the stillness of your own energy. On the small altar before you sits a carefully arranged collection of items. A candle flickering softly, a small statue of the Buddha, a bowl of fresh flowers. Each piece is chosen with intention, reflecting your spiritual journey and creating a sense of harmony. Then one day, a well-meaning friend hands you a gift. You open it to reveal a beautifully crafted cross, its details intricate and full of reverence. The friend, from a different faith, offers it as a token of respect, believing it would enrich your spiritual practice. Caught between gratitude and a quiet sense of unease, you place the cross on a nearby shelf, unsure where it belongs. Over the days that follow, you notice something subtle but unsettling. A dissonance in your space, like a note out of tune in a familiar melody. Your meditation feels clouded, and the serenity of your sanctuary seems diminished. This moment captures the delicate balance of receiving religious or spiritual artifacts as gifts. Objects like these are far more than material items. They are vessels of energy, intention, and deep symbolism, often carrying the spiritual imprint of their giver. When these energies align with your beliefs, they can amplify harmony and growth. But when they diverge, even unintentionally, they may create a quiet conflict, pulling your spiritual focus in opposing directions. Consider the story of Mei Lin, a dedicated practitioner of Buddhist meditation. Mei Lin was deeply connected to her practice, her home reflecting her peaceful energy. One day, her aunt, a devout Christian, gifted her a wooden rosary during a family gathering. Mei Lin cherished her aunt's love and respect but felt unsure about how to honor the rosary without disrupting her own spiritual path. Out of politeness, she placed it on her altar alongside her Buddhist symbols, hoping it would blend in. Yet, over time, Mei Lin noticed her meditation sessions becoming less focused. She felt a subtle tension in her spiritual practice, as though her thoughts were being pulled in multiple directions. Seeking clarity, she approached her teacher, who gently explained that spiritual artifacts carry not just their physical presence but the beliefs, intentions, and energies of those who created or gifted them. It's not about rejecting the rosary, the teacher said, but about respecting its sacredness and ensuring your space reflects your own spiritual alignment. Encouraged by this advice, Mei Lin found a new home for the rosary in a special box, honoring it without mixing it into her practice. As she rearranged her altar with renewed intention, she felt the harmony return, her meditation once again a source of peace. Stories like Mei Lin's reveal the profound impact of spiritual artifacts on our energy and well-being. These items, often infused with devotion and purpose, act as conduits between the physical and the spiritual realms. When gifted, they carry not only the intentions of the giver but also the history and tradition of the faith they represent. This can lead to a quiet but tangible imbalance if their energy does not resonate with the recipient's own spiritual path. In many traditions, the act of giving a religious artifact is seen as a gesture of profound respect and goodwill. A prayer bead, a holy book, or a sacred statue may symbolize blessings, protection, or shared reverence. But even the purest intentions can sometimes lead to unintended disharmony. The key lies in mindfulness, understanding the energy of these gifts and how they fit into your spiritual journey. Imagine a candlelit room where a Buddhist practitioner keeps a serene space for mindfulness. Among the carefully chosen objects sits a Christian crucifix gifted by a friend. Though the cross holds deep meaning for the giver, it might subtly shift the energy of the space, introducing a vibration that contrasts with the practitioner's intentions. Over time, this incongruence can feel like a faint hum in the background, barely noticeable at first but gradually affecting the sense of balance. To navigate this, mindfulness becomes essential. When receiving a spiritual artifact, pause to reflect on its energy and purpose. Ask yourself, does this item align with my beliefs? How can I honor its sacredness without compromising my own spiritual clarity? Sometimes, the answer is to accept the gift with gratitude but to keep it in a separate space where it can be appreciated without mingling energies. Other times, it may involve gently declining the gift, explaining your intention to maintain a focused spiritual practice. A friend once shared a story about their grandmother, who practiced Taoism. When gifted a Hindu deity statue by a colleague, she accepted it with warmth but explained that her altar was reserved for her Taoist rituals. Instead, she created a small nook in her home where the statue could be displayed respectfully, ensuring both traditions were honored without interference. Her gesture reflected a profound balance, embracing the diversity of spiritual paths while staying true to her own. These moments remind us of the interconnectedness of all faiths and the importance of navigating them with respect and awareness. Spiritual artifacts are bridges to the divine, each carrying unique energies that resonate with those who share their path. By approaching them with intention, we can foster harmony in our lives and relationships. As you think about the spiritual artifacts in your own space, consider their energy and significance. Do they align with your journey? Or are there pieces that feel out of place? How might you create an environment that supports your growth while honoring the diversity of beliefs around you? These reflections are not about exclusion but about clarity, ensuring that your spiritual practice remains a source of peace and focus. In the quiet of this reflection, let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty of intention. Whether gifting or receiving, let us approach spiritual artifacts with mindfulness, honoring their sacredness and their place in the tapestry of faith. In doing so, we create spaces that nurture our spirits and reflect the harmony we seek in the world. Old mirrors, reflections of the past. The sunlight filters gently through the window, illuminating tiny particles of dust that float like shimmering specks of gold in the still air. In the corner of a living room sits a beautifully ornate antique mirror, its frame carved with intricate designs, whispering stories of a time long past. It was a gift, passed down from a distant relative who cherished its beauty. But what if that mirror reflected more than just faces? What if it held fragments of the lives it once witnessed, moments of joy, sorrow, and everything in between? woven into its glass. This is not just the tale of a mirror, but a story of energy and memory. In Buddhist teachings, everything in the world is interconnected, and objects, especially those that have stood the test of time, carry the imprints of their journey. Mirrors, with their unique role as reflectors, are thought to hold more than mere images. They absorb and echo the energy of the spaces and people they encounter, making them powerful conduits of both light and shadow. There's a story of a family who inherited an antique mirror from a distant relative. They brought it into their home with a sense of wonder, admiring its craftsmanship and the way it added a touch of elegance to their living room. For weeks, the family reveled in its beauty, unaware of the subtle shifts taking place around them. Slowly, arguments began to brew, small disagreements that escalated into heated exchanges. The warmth of their home felt disrupted, replaced by an unspoken tension. One evening, the family sat together trying to make sense of the change. They spoke of how peaceful their home once was, and their thoughts turned to the mirror. Could it be, they wondered, that this object, so admired for its physical charm, carried something unseen, a residue of the past? Intrigued and uneasy, they sought the advice of a teacher known for her deep understanding of energy and harmony. The teacher visited their home, walking silently through the space, observing the flow of energy. When her eyes fell upon the mirror, she paused. "This mirror," she said softly, "is more than what it seems. It has witnessed lives before yours, and some of those lives may not have been peaceful. Its surface reflects not only your present but echoes of the past. To restore balance, we must cleanse it." The family, eager to reclaim the tranquility of their home, followed her guidance. They performed a ritual, using sage to cleanse the mirror's energy, allowing its smoke to waft gently across the glass and its ornate frame. They placed the mirror under sunlight for a day, letting its warmth and light dissolve the lingering shadows. Finally, they sprinkled salt water over a cloth and wiped the surface clean, visualizing the release of all residual emotions tied to its past. In the weeks that followed, the family noticed a shift. The tension dissipated, and their home once again became a haven of connection and joy. This story is not an isolated one. Across cultures and traditions, mirrors are seen as mystical objects, capable of reflecting more than just the physical world. They are symbols of truth and self-awareness, but also portals to energies that may linger unseen. An old mirror, particularly one that has passed through many hands or places, might carry the emotional imprints of those who stood before it. Grief, love, fear, or hope, like faint ripples on the surface of still water. Imagine finding an antique mirror in a quaint shop, its frame weathered but beautiful. You're drawn to it not just for its aesthetic appeal but for the stories it seems to hold. As you place it in your home, its presence subtly weaves itself into your life. Perhaps you notice certain moods intensify. A quiet melancholy you can't quite explain, or a sense of nostalgia that doesn't seem to belong to you. This is the mirror's energy at play, a reflection of more than what meets the eye. But what does it mean for us in the modern world? In an age where mindfulness and balance are more important than ever, understanding the energy of objects becomes a way to harmonize our environments and ourselves. Old mirrors are reminders of the importance of intention, of cleansing and resetting the energy of the things we invite into our spaces. The process of cleansing an old mirror is both practical and symbolic. Sage, with its ancient roots in purification rituals, helps to dispel negativity and restore clarity. Sunlight, a universal cleanser, brings warmth and vitality to the object, reconnecting it with the natural flow of energy. Salt water, a timeless purifier, absorbs and neutralizes lingering emotions, leaving behind a sense of renewal. In another tale, a woman named Eliza inherited a mirror from her grandmother, a cherished heirloom that had adorned the walls of an old family home. Eliza admired its beauty but often felt a weight whenever she passed by it, a heaviness that seemed to anchor her thoughts in the past. Trusting her intuition, she decided to cleanse it. She followed a ritual of gratitude, thanking the mirror for its history while inviting it to release any energy that no longer served her. Afterward, Eliza noticed a profound change, both in her home and in her own spirit. The mirror became a source of inspiration, reflecting not only her image but a renewed sense of clarity and peace. These experiences invite us to reflect on our own spaces. What objects surround us and what energy do they carry? Are there pieces that feel heavy or out of place, drawing us into a past that no longer aligns with who we are? By approaching these questions with mindfulness, we can transform our environments into sanctuaries of balance and intention. As we journey through life, mirrors serve as metaphors for our inner and outer worlds. They show us not only our physical reflection but also the energies we project and absorb. An old mirror, cleansed and cared for, becomes a partner in our growth, reflecting the light of our present rather than the shadows of the past. So the next time you encounter a mirror with a history, take a moment to connect with it. Let your intuition guide you. Does it feel like a friend, or does it carry a story that needs to be released? In choosing how to interact with these objects, you are also choosing the kind of energy you wish to invite into your life. And as we sit in the quiet of this reflection, let us hold onto the lesson of intention. In every interaction with people, spaces, or objects, we have the power to cleanse, renew, and align. It is in these mindful choices that we find harmony, not just in our surroundings but within ourselves. Clocks and watches, the weight of time. The gentle ticking of a clock fills a quiet room, each sound marking the steady passage of seconds. There is something hypnotic about it, almost soothing, but also a reminder of something deeper. Time slipping through our fingers moment by moment. A clock is more than a tool for telling time. It is a silent witness to our days, our hopes, and sometimes our regrets. Its face reflects the rhythm of life, unyielding and constant. Imagine receiving a clock as a gift. At first glance, it seems thoughtful, a symbol of elegance or a token of time well spent. But as you place it on your shelf, its ticking begins to feel louder, more insistent. Days turn into weeks and you notice a shift. An inexplicable sense of urgency creeps into your routine. The peaceful mornings you once cherished now feel hurried, and a subtle anxiety lingers in the air. What if that clock, so innocently given, carries more than just its mechanical parts? What if it carries the energy of its giver or even its own past? In many cultures, timepieces like clocks and watches hold significant meaning. They symbolize life's limits and the fleeting nature of our existence. To gift one can be seen as a gesture of respect, marking milestones or celebrating achievements. Yet, it is also a gesture laden with unintended implications. A clock or watch can remind us of deadlines, of time running out, and of the pressure to make every moment count. For some, this reminder is empowering. For others, it becomes a burden. There is a story of an elderly man named Daniel who cherished a family heirloom, a beautiful antique clock that had been passed down through generations. When his grandson graduated from college, Daniel decided to gift him the clock as a symbol of legacy and pride. The young man, Sam, was deeply moved by the gesture, admiring the clock's craftsmanship and its sentimental value. Yet, over time, Sam began to feel weighed down by it. The ticking, once a comforting sound, became an ever-present reminder of expectations he felt he couldn't meet. The clock, with its intricate hands and ornate design, seemed to carry not just time but the weight of his family's hopes and unspoken pressures. Sam's story is a poignant reminder that objects, especially timepieces, can carry emotional and energetic imprints. The clock was a relic of Daniel's life, reflecting his joys, struggles, and perhaps even regrets. In gifting it to Sam, Daniel unknowingly passed along these unspoken burdens. The ticking became more than a measurement of time. It became a rhythm of inherited anxieties. This phenomenon isn't limited to heirlooms. Even new clocks or watches can carry the intentions or energies of those who gift them. A watch given out of obligation, rather than genuine care, might carry a sense of detachment. A clock purchased during a period of personal struggle might carry subtle vibrations of unease. These energies, while invisible, can subtly influence our emotions and mindset. To navigate this, mindfulness is key. When gifting a timepiece, consider its symbolic weight. Are you offering it as a token of encouragement and celebration, or does it carry hidden expectations? And when receiving one, take a moment to reflect on how it makes you feel. Does it inspire you or create a sense of urgency? These questions, though simple, can help us approach timepieces with awareness, ensuring they enhance rather than disrupt our lives. Another layer to this discussion is the energy of old clocks and watches. These objects, having marked the lives of their previous owners, can hold emotional echoes of the past. Imagine wearing a vintage watch that once belonged to someone who lived through a turbulent era. The watch may be beautiful, but it might also carry the anxieties or regrets of its history. Cleansing such items, whether through rituals or personal intention, can help release their lingering energies and allow them to integrate into your life harmoniously. I remember a story shared by a friend, Leah, who had inherited a pocket watch from her great-uncle. It was a stunning piece, its golden case engraved with delicate patterns. Leah wore it daily, cherishing its connection to her family's history. But she soon noticed that whenever she held the watch, she felt an inexplicable sadness. Curious, Leah delved into her great-uncle's life and discovered that he had experienced profound grief during the time he owned the watch. Realizing this, Leah decided to perform a cleansing ritual. She placed the watch under sunlight, imagining the warmth dissolving its heavy energy. Afterward, Leah felt a renewed sense of lightness, as though the watch had been given a fresh chapter in its journey. Stories like Leah's highlight the importance of acknowledging the energies objects carry. Timepieces, with their role as keepers of life's rhythm, are particularly potent in this regard. Their connection to time, both fleeting and eternal, makes them deeply symbolic. By approaching them with mindfulness, we can honor their significance while ensuring they align with our present intentions. In our fast-paced modern world, clocks and watches often remind us of deadlines and schedules, but they can also serve as tools for mindfulness, encouraging us to be present in the moment. When gifted with care and received with awareness, they can inspire us to cherish time rather than fear its passage. The next time you encounter a timepiece, whether as a gift or an inheritance, pause and reflect. What story does it tell? What energy does it carry? And most importantly, how does it make you feel? As we sit with these reflections, let us remember that time is not just a measurement but a gift. In every tick of a clock, there is an invitation to live fully, to embrace the present, and to honor the connections that shape our lives. Through mindfulness and intention, we can transform timepieces from symbols of urgency into reminders of life's beauty and potential. Broken items, symbols of dysfunction. The quiet stillness of a room can often reveal the most profound truths. Picture yourself in such a space, a soft beam of sunlight filtering through the curtains, gently illuminating every corner. Among the items scattered around, your gaze falls upon a broken vase tucked away on a shelf. Its cracks, though subtle, tell a silent story of imperfection. Once a symbol of beauty and wholeness, it now feels like a faint echo of what it once was. And yet, it lingers, a part of your space, seemingly insignificant but quietly resonating with your life. Objects, like the broken vase, hold more than their physical form. They carry energy, meaning, and often a reflection of the mindset we hold. In Buddhist philosophy, the external world mirrors the internal. A broken item, no matter how small, becomes a symbol of incompleteness and dysfunction, silently influencing the energy of its surroundings. It might seem like a stretch to imagine a chipped plate or a fractured picture frame affecting your well-being, but these items subtly reinforce a mindset of scarcity and imperfection. Let me share a story about Ava, a young woman who had recently moved into her first apartment. Eager to furnish her new space on a budget, she accepted hand-me-downs from friends and family. Among them was an old, slightly broken lamp. Its base was cracked, and it wobbled when placed on the table, but it still worked, and Ava saw no harm in keeping it. Yet, over the months, she noticed a pattern emerging in her life. Things seemed to fall apart: her relationships, her finances, even her sense of self-confidence. She felt stuck, as though something intangible was holding her back. One evening, as Ava sat alone in her dimly lit living room, her eyes rested on the lamp. She realized that every time she looked at it, it reminded her of compromise, of settling for something that didn't quite work. Inspired to make a change, she decided to replace the lamp with one that was whole and sturdy. The transformation was immediate. With the new lamp casting a steady, warm light, Ava felt a renewed sense of clarity and determination. Over time, her life began to align with this new energy. Her relationships improved, opportunities flowed, and she felt more grounded in her decisions. Ava's experience is not unique. Broken items, though seemingly mundane, carry a symbolic weight that influences our subconscious. They remind us of what is incomplete, of things left unresolved. This can manifest in various ways: procrastination, feelings of inadequacy, or even a resistance to moving forward. It's as if the broken objects in our lives create tiny cracks in our energy, allowing negativity to seep in. Think about a chipped mug you might use every morning. While it still holds coffee, each time you pick it up, you might feel a slight irritation or dismissiveness, thinking, "It's just a mug." But over time, this small interaction becomes a pattern, a daily reinforcement of accepting imperfection in a way that diminishes your sense of abundance. Now, imagine replacing that mug with one that feels whole and delightful to use. The difference might seem subtle at first, but it creates a ripple effect influencing your mindset and, by extension, your actions. In many spiritual traditions, including Buddhism, there's a practice of honoring the objects in our lives. This doesn't mean attaching undue importance to material possessions, but rather cultivating mindfulness about what we surround ourselves with. Broken items disrupt the flow of energy in a space. They serve as constant reminders of things that are out of balance, making it harder to foster a sense of harmony and well-being. Sometimes, the attachment to broken items comes from a place of sentimentality. A cracked bowl that belonged to a loved one or a damaged piece of furniture with memories tied to it can be difficult to let go of. But even in these cases, there are ways to honor the past without allowing it to weigh down the present. Repairing the item, if possible, can transform it from a symbol of dysfunction into one of renewal and resilience. And if it's beyond repair, letting it go with gratitude creates space for new energy to enter your life. I remember a story about an older man named Mr. Lee, who lived in a small village. He had an old mirror with a jagged crack running through it, a keepsake from his younger days. For years, he kept it in his bedroom, despite the distorted reflections it cast. One day, after a conversation with a visiting monk, Mr. Lee decided to replace the mirror. The monk had gently explained that the cracked mirror was not just altering his physical reflection but also his perception of his own life. By replacing it with a clear, unbroken mirror, Mr. Lee felt as though he could see himself anew, free from the fragmented image he had grown used to. This story illustrates a profound truth. The objects in our lives shape our self-perception. Broken items can subtly reinforce feelings of limitation, while whole, functional objects inspire clarity and abundance. This doesn't mean striving for perfection or discarding everything at the first sign of wear. Rather, it's about being mindful of the energy we invite into our spaces and lives. If you have broken items in your home, take a moment to reflect on them. Why are you holding on to them? Do they serve a purpose, or are they quietly reinforcing a narrative of scarcity? If it's the latter, consider repairing or replacing them. If the item holds sentimental value, perhaps there's a way to honor its memory without letting it disrupt your present energy. For example, turning a broken dish into a mosaic or transforming a damaged chair into a piece of art can breathe new life into it while preserving its essence. The act of letting go is not always easy, but it is liberating. When we release what no longer serves us, we make room for growth and abundance. This principle extends beyond physical objects to habits, relationships, and even thoughts. The broken vase on the shelf might be a metaphor for something deeper, a part of your life that feels incomplete or unresolved. By addressing it, you take a step toward creating a life that feels whole and harmonious. In the stillness of reflection, consider what it means to live with intention. How do the objects around you contribute to your sense of peace and abundance? What small changes can you make to align your space with the energy you wish to cultivate? These questions, like gentle ripples on water, invite us to look deeper, to honor the connections between the material and the spiritual. As the story of broken items unfolds, let it be a reminder that even the smallest details of our lives matter. Every object, every interaction, every choice contributes to the tapestry of our existence. By choosing wholeness, both in our possessions and in ourselves, we invite a sense of completeness that radiates through every aspect of our lives. Cash or money, energetic exchange. Imagine a quiet afternoon. The sunlight spills through the curtains, painting warm patterns on the floor. You sit at your kitchen table, sipping tea, when a small envelope catches your eye. Inside, there's a crisp bill, a monetary gift from a friend or family member. At first, it feels practical, even thoughtful. But as you hold it, a subtle unease begins to surface. What does this gift truly carry? Is it a token of abundance, or does it come with unseen strings attached? In the hustle of daily life, money is often seen as neutral, a means to an end, a tool for survival and comfort. But in Buddhist philosophy, and indeed in many spiritual traditions, money is never just paper or metal. It carries energy, shaped by the intentions, emotions, and circumstances of the giver. When we accept it, we invite that energy into our lives, whether it is one of generosity, struggle, or something more complex. I once heard a story about a young man named Arun, who was gifted a substantial amount of money by an old acquaintance. Arun, an aspiring artist, was initially overjoyed, thinking of the opportunities it would bring. Art supplies, time to focus on his craft, and freedom from financial strain. But as he began using the money, he noticed strange patterns emerging in his life. His creativity felt stifled, his relationships grew strained, and an inexplicable weight seemed to hang over him. Confused, Arun sought the guidance of a teacher who was well-versed in the energy of exchange. The teacher listened carefully and then posed a simple question. What was the intention behind the gift? Was it given freely, or did it carry the residue of its giver's struggles or expectations? Arun reflected and realized that the acquaintance who had gifted him the money was burdened with financial anxieties and unresolved conflicts. Though the gift seemed generous, it had inadvertently transferred some of this heavy energy into Arun's life. Money, after all, is not just currency. It is a representation of value, effort, and the emotions tied to its acquisition. When given with pure intentions, out of love, support, or genuine abundance, it can uplift and empower. But when it carries the weight of stress, guilt, or obligation, it can subtly influence the recipient, creating blockages or imbalances in their energy. Think of a time when you received money as a gift. Perhaps it was during a holiday, a milestone celebration, or as a gesture of help during a challenging period. How did it make you feel? Did it inspire gratitude and ease, or did it leave a lingering sense of discomfort, as though you were accepting more than just the physical gift? These feelings are not trivial. They are the subconscious recognition of the energy embedded in the exchange. The energy of money often reflects the state of the giver. A parent who gifts money to their child with love and pride infuses it with positivity. A friend who gives out of obligation or guilt, however, unknowingly passes along these emotions. This is why being mindful of monetary gifts, both in giving and receiving, is so important. It's not about rejecting generosity, but about ensuring that the energy aligns with abundance and harmony. In a small village I once visited, there was a tradition tied to the giving of money. Before handing over the gift, the giver would take a moment to bless it, often by placing it on a small altar or holding it with closed eyes while whispering words of goodwill. This practice was not about superstition but about intention. By consciously infusing the gift with positivity, the giver ensured that the money carried only the energy of support and prosperity. This tradition offers a valuable lesson for modern life. Whether we are giving or receiving money, the act of pausing to set an intention transforms the exchange. It becomes a gesture of connection, free from hidden expectations or burdens. For those receiving money, a simple ritual, like holding it with gratitude and imagining it as a source of positive flow, can help align its energy with abundance. I recall another story, this one about an elderly woman named Sita who lived in a bustling city. Sita was known for her generosity, often giving small amounts of money to those in need. But she had a unique practice. Before handing over the money, she would smile and say, "May this bring you light and ease." People often remarked that her gifts felt different. More than just charity, they felt like blessings. Sita's mindful approach ensured that her energy, as much as the money itself, was a gift. On the other hand, there are times when monetary gifts can create subtle tensions. A young couple I knew once received a significant sum from a well-meaning relative as a wedding gift. While they were grateful, they later discovered that the relative had unspoken expectations tied to the gift. Expectations of frequent visits, involvement in decisions, and a sense of indebtedness. This created strain in their relationship, illustrating how money, when not given freely, can act as a silent tether. Navigating such situations requires awareness and communication. If you sense that a monetary gift carries expectations or energy that feels misaligned, it's okay to address it. Express gratitude for the gesture while setting boundaries, ensuring that the exchange remains positive and balanced. For those giving money, reflecting on your intentions is equally vital. Are you giving out of joy and abundance, or are there underlying emotions? Perhaps guilt, pity, or a need for control? By acknowledging these feelings, you can choose to transform them, ensuring that your gift uplifts rather than weighs down. In our fast-paced, material-driven world, it's easy to overlook the subtle energies that flow through our transactions. But by approaching money with mindfulness, we can reclaim its potential as a force for good. Whether you are gifting or receiving, remember that money is more than a practical tool. It is a carrier of energy, shaped by intention. As you sit with these reflections, take a moment to think about the role of money in your life. How do you give and receive it? Are there exchanges that feel heavy or unbalanced, and how might you shift them? By bringing awareness to these interactions, you can create a relationship with money that feels abundant, harmonious, and free from unnecessary burdens. In the end, money, like any gift, is a symbol of connection. By infusing it with positivity and gratitude, we ensure that it becomes a source of light rather than shadow. And in doing so, we honor the true spirit of giving, one that uplifts, empowers, and creates ripples of abundance in the lives it touches. Conclusion: the gifts we give ourselves. As our conversation draws to a close, let me leave you with this thought. The gifts we choose to accept or decline are not just about the physical objects themselves, but about the energy we allow into our lives. Every decision, whether it's to keep an old mirror, wear a piece of used clothing, or graciously decline a gift, shapes our inner and outer worlds. Think of your life as a garden. The gifts you accept are the seeds you plant. Some may grow into vibrant flowers, while others could become weeds that choke out the beauty. What kind of garden do you want to cultivate? The next time you're offered a gift, pause and ask yourself, is this something that aligns with the energy I wish to nurture in my life? Remember, being mindful is not about rejecting generosity, but about honoring the space within you and the harmony you strive to maintain. As you move forward, consider how you might also give gifts that carry light, positivity, and abundance to others. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever received a gift that changed your life, for better or worse? Share your story in the comments below. Let's learn from each other's experiences and grow together on this journey of mindfulness. If you found value in this conversation, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might need this wisdom. Together, we can create ripples of positive energy that inspire and uplift. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Until next time, stay mindful, stay present, and keep shining your light.